You have no idea how powerful your mornings truly are. Every day when you wake up, you stand at the crossroads of who you've been and who you're becoming. This isn't just another video about productivity or habits. This is a wake-up call to your potential. Because in the first 5 minutes of your day, you're not just brushing your teeth or sipping coffee. You're either building momentum or losing it. You're either rewiring your brain for greatness or defaulting back to survival. If you've ever felt stuck, overwhelmed, or like your days are slipping through your fingers, this is for you. The secret isn't found in some complicated routine. It's found in small, consistent, intentional shifts that reprogram your mind to lead, to focus, to rise. In the next few minutes, you're going to learn 10 powerful morning habits that top leaders, elite thinkers, and high performers use, not to impress others, but to command their own life. So stay with me till the end, because by the time this video finishes, you won't just have tools, you'll have a blueprint, and maybe for the first time in a long time, you'll remember just how much control you actually have. Let's dive in. Your next level begins now. Most people believe that in order to change their life, they need to overhaul everything. They need hours at the gym, massive routines, complicated planners, and endless motivation. But the truth is, real transformation doesn't begin with time. It begins with intention. 5 minutes can be more altering than 5 hours if those minutes are filled with purpose. The problem is not time, it's attention. We give our best energy to distractions and then wonder why we feel stuck. But when you carve out even just 5 minutes with full intention, your brain notices. Your spirit notices, and slowly your life starts to shift. What matters most is how you show up for those 5 minutes. Are you present? Are you committed? Are you willing to be honest in that space? Because in a world addicted to speed and productivity, we've forgotten the power of presence. You don't need more hours in your day. You need to be more deliberate with the ones you already have. A focused 5 minutes every morning, just 5, can become a reset button, a pattern breaker, a moment of vision casting that realigns your entire day. It's not about the clock, it's about your commitment. When we talk about growth, we're often told to think big. But what if big starts small? What if the most important thing you could do today was to sit still, ask yourself one hard question, breathe deeply, or write down one truth you've been avoiding? These aren't time-consuming rituals, they are intentional ones, and intention is the soil where meaningful growth takes root. If you wait until you have time, you never will. But if you decide, just for 5 minutes, that your life is worth your full attention, you'll find that what felt impossible begins to feel inevitable. This isn't about adding another task to your list. It's about starting your day on purpose before the world pulls you in 10 different directions. 5 minutes to set your mind, 5 minutes to train your focus, 5 minutes to hear your own voice before you hear everyone else's. That's not a small thing, that's a power move. Repetition is not glamorous. It doesn't post well on social media and it rarely feels exciting. But it is the quiet architect of identity. What you do once in a while might feel meaningful in the moment, but what you do every single day begins to shape the person you're becoming. And this is the truth most people overlook when trying to change their life. They don't need more information, they need more repetition. A 5-minute daily habit might seem too small to matter, but when done consistently, it carries the power to reshape your beliefs, refocus your values, and recalibrate your mindset. If you speak kindness over yourself for 5 minutes every morning, eventually your brain will stop arguing with it and start accepting it. If you pause to reflect on what matters to you for 5 minutes every day, eventually your actions will begin to reflect those values. The human brain is built on patterns. It follows what it repeats. That means you don't need to do something huge to become someone new. You just need to do something meaningful every day. And when that habit is small enough to repeat but strong enough to move you, it creates change that lasts. We often want transformation to feel big and impressive, but the reality is that transformation starts in the ordinary. It is built in the mundane. A 5-minute habit, done every single day with intention, becomes a thread in the fabric of your identity. You no longer just do a thing. You become someone who lives that thing. You are no longer chasing motivation. You are reinforcing the truth of who you are and who you're becoming. And this is where the power lies, not in the size of the act, but in the rhythm of the repetition. The more you do it, the more your brain wires around it. The more you wire around it, the more natural it becomes. Suddenly, the 5 minutes you once had to force yourself to take become the 5 minutes you crave. And that's when you know you've changed, not when it feels new, but when it becomes normal. Repetition is how small actions become strong identities, and strong identities shape extraordinary lives. Your brain is always listening. Every word you say to yourself, every thought you repeat, every label you accept it absorbs and stores like a sponge. The mind may seem like a fortress of logic, but it is molded by emotion and repetition. That means the stories you tell yourself matter deeply. If every morning you speak doubt, fear, and failure, your brain begins to filter your day through those words. But if you take just 5 minutes to speak with clarity, strength, and vision, your brain starts to look for those truths instead. This is not about hype or blind optimism. It's about alignment. Because your mind doesn't care whether what you're saying is helpful or hurtful. It just believes what it hears the most. That's why 5 intentional minutes each day can make or break the direction of your life. You are not just talking to yourself in those moments. You are training your brain what to look for, what to expect, and what to believe. And once your brain believes something, it begins to act as if it's already true. It adjusts your posture, it sharpens your focus, it shifts your energy. A single sentence, spoken in the morning with full conviction, can become the compass for your decisions that day. Say, "I am grounded," and you'll walk into chaos with clarity. Say, "I am growing," and setbacks become lessons, not losses. Say, "I am loved," and you stop performing to earn your worth. This is the power most people overlook. They wait for change to come from the outside, but the greatest shifts happen when we change what we say on the inside. And when that language is repeated, especially in those first 5 minutes of the day, it becomes the internal narrative that drives external results. You begin to filter opportunities through belief, not fear. You begin to respond from strength, not insecurity. And without realizing it, you start building a new identity, one small word at a time. It only takes 5 minutes to plant a new thought, but that thought, if nurtured, can become a tree that bears fruit for years. That's how powerful the mind is. That's how powerful your words are. Speak what's true. Speak what's possible. Speak it until your brain stops doubting and starts believing. Gratitude isn't just a nice idea or a polite social gesture. It's a psychological and spiritual discipline that rewires how your brain interprets the world around you. Every morning you are faced with a choice to begin your day from a place of lack or a place of abundance. When you start those first 5 minutes intentionally focused on gratitude, something changes in your internal chemistry. Neuroscience confirms it. Your brain, when tuned to gratitude, shifts its default mode from survival to growth, from fear to faith, from reaction to purpose. It trains your mind to look for what's right rather than obsess over what's missing. This shift in perspective doesn't just feel good. It becomes a foundation for resilience, joy, and leadership. Gratitude sharpens your awareness. When you pause to recognize what you already have, your mind stops racing to fix what you don't. and in that stillness peace enters. It's not denial of problems, it's the refusal to let problems define your mindset. With 5 minutes of focused gratitude every morning, you're not just naming blessings, you're recalibrating your reality. You start to see relationships as gifts, challenges as teachers, and even pain as a place for growth. Gratitude gives you back control. It reminds you that life isn't just happening to you, it's happening for you and with you. Most people wait for something big to be grateful for, but the truth is, it's in the small things, breath, light, the ability to begin again, that the most profound transformation begins. When you build a habit of gratitude in your first 5 minutes of the day, you build a filter that helps you walk into the next 23 hours with better clarity and stronger emotional health. It becomes easier to focus, easier to lead, easier to be kind, because you're no longer operating from emptiness. You're grounded, you're full. Gratitude also interrupts anxiety. It interrupts entitlement. It softens pride and opens up creativity. When your heart and mind are thankful, it's almost impossible to be paralyzed by comparison or fear. You realize that what you have is already enough to start with. And that kind of posture changes how you approach work, relationships, and your own inner dialogue. 5 minutes of intentional gratitude doesn't just change your mood, it changes your mind, it resets your brain chemistry, and over time it rewires your entire perspective on what's possible. Movement is more than just a physical necessity. It's a signal to your brain that life is happening, that energy is available, and that action is possible. In the first 5 minutes of your day, even the smallest act of movement becomes a message. I'm alive and I'm ready. Whether it's stretching, walking, breathing deeply, or simply standing tall with purpose, movement activates areas of the brain tied to clarity, motivation, and emotional regulation. It wakes up not just your muscles, but your mindset. Your body and brain are in constant conversation, and when your body leads with strength, your brain responds with focus. This isn't about exercise, it's about alignment. It's about engaging your physiology to prepare your psychology for the day ahead. We underestimate the intelligence of our bodies. When you move first thing in the morning, your nervous system adjusts, your posture lifts, and your internal chemistry changes. The stress hormone cortisol drops while endorphins rise, creating a calm yet energized state. It's nature's way of saying you were made to move forward. When you sit still in stress, your mind amplifies problems. But when you move with purpose, even briefly, your brain interprets it as progress. And progress, no matter how small, is one of the most motivating forces in human psychology. That first step or stretch in the morning is symbolic. It's you declaring to your brain, I'm not stuck. You don't need an hour, you don't even need 10 minutes. Just 5 minutes of movement each morning builds momentum. It breaks inertia. It tells the brain, let's go. Over time, this practice becomes more than habit. It becomes identity. You become the person who takes action, who initiates forward motion, who doesn't wait for the day to happen to them. That identity shift is where confidence grows, not because of what you accomplish externally, but because of the signals you send internally through consistent, purposeful action. Movement also creates space for mental clarity. As your body engages, your mind begins to sift through thoughts and emotions, often unconsciously resolving what seemed confusing or overwhelming just minutes earlier. That's the power of moving early. It's not about speed or intensity, it's about initiation. It's not just movement for your health, it's movement for your hope. It's how you start telling your brain, today, I show up with intention. And intention creates momentum that lasts far beyond those first 5 minutes. The way you speak to yourself in the first 5 minutes of your day sets the tone for everything that follows. Self, Talk is not just mental chatter. It is the script your subconscious follows. When you wake up and immediately think of your limitations, your stress, or your failures, your brain begins to search for evidence to confirm those thoughts. But when you choose intentional, empowering self-talk, you begin to rewire the neural pathways that shape your identity and behavior. This is not wishful thinking, it's cognitive training. You are teaching your brain how to treat you, and over time, how to treat the world around you. The words you speak over yourself in the quiet moments of the morning are more powerful than anything the world will try to tell you. Later affirmations are not about pretending you're something you're not. They're about aligning your internal world with the truth of who you are becoming. Saying, "I am disciplined," even before you feel disciplined, plants the seed. Saying, "I am enough," even when insecurity whispers otherwise, builds resilience. Your brain listens when you speak, and it adapts accordingly. Every single day, you are either reinforcing fear or reinforcing faith through your words, and in the sacred space of morning, your mind is most impressionable. Those early moments become a spiritual battleground, a place where truth must be louder than lies. When you declare bold, honest, life-giving words over yourself, you're not just motivating yourself, you're forming a new identity. You're not waiting for confidence to show up, you're cultivating it, and the more you do it, the more natural it becomes. This is how high performers lead themselves before they lead anyone else. They curate their self-talk. They monitor it, refine it, and take responsibility for it, because how you speak to yourself becomes how you live. In those first 5 minutes, the mirror becomes your coach, your prayer becomes your power, and your voice becomes your breakthrough. Over time. That internal dialogue creates a default mindset. Instead of spiraling into anxiety or self-doubt, your trained mind begins to respond with courage, perspective, and peace. That's what rewiring really means, training the brain to instinctively choose faith over fear, truth over negativity, action over paralysis. And it all starts with the voice you use when no one else is listening. 5 minutes of focused, intentional self-talk doesn't just lift your mood. It builds a foundation for lasting confidence, clarity, and inner strength when it comes to transforming your life. It's not the massive once-in-a-lifetime decisions that create the real shift. It's the tiny, often overlooked choices you make every single morning. The 10 habits we've walked through today aren't just routines. They're rewiring tools. They are the chisels that shape your mindset, your resilience, your vision. When practiced consistently, they don't just make your mornings better. They make you better, more focused, more grounded, more aligned with your values and your purpose. You are not at the mercy of your past. You are not stuck with the mindset you had yesterday. Each day is a blank canvas, and your morning rituals are the brushstrokes that define what kind of life you are building. Every breath, every word, every habit is a vote for the person you're becoming. So wake up with intention, speak with power, move with clarity. Lead yourself before you lead your world. Thank you for spending this time with me. Your time is valuable, and your willingness to invest it here tells me one thing: you're serious about growth. I hope this message lit a fire within you and gave you more than just information. It gave you inspiration to act. If this added value to your life, consider sharing it with someone who needs a shift. Until next time, keep showing up, keep doing the work, and never forget: the future isn't something you find, it's something you build every morning.